This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Good afternoon, Real News Media TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update for November 8, 2022. Trust everyone is having a wonderful day so far. And in the news for this afternoon, 5 prison inmates infected with tuberculosis. 5 tuberculosis cases have been confirmed at one of Jamaica's correctional facilities. A media release from the Department of Correctional Services Tuesday morning did not name the facility. It said the affected inmates have been hospitalized and are responding well to treatment. No staff member has tested positive for TB. Meanwhile, the contacts of the hospital inmates have been identified and are being screened by the Health Ministry. The department disclosed that close to 100 inmates have already been administered the Montu skin test, which, together with screening for symptoms, including coughing, weight loss, and a fever, is done as part of the first level of evaluation for TB. It said the next level of evaluation involves a chest X-ray and a sputum test for which inmates are currently being scheduled. TB is caused by a bacterium called Mycobacterium tuberculosis. It usually attacks the lungs, though it can attack any part of the body, including the kidneys, spine, and the brain. Not everyone infected with TB bacteria becomes sick, and as a result, there are 2 TB conditions that exist. These are latent TB infection, which is where the bacteria live in the body without a person getting sick, and the TB disease, which is where the bacteria are active in the body. If not treated properly, TB disease can be fatal. Complaints rattle used car dealers. Against the backdrop of mounting complaints in the sector, the Jamaica Used Car Dealers Association has pledged to launch a public education campaign so that consumers can identify red flags when purchasing pre-owned motor vehicles. JUCDA President Linval Hamilton said that his membership met recently to discuss grouses reported against the industry interest. We have decided that it does appear that we have to take that route, so we will be advertising, so to speak, to the dealers. The dealers are on the website, but we need to do a little more for the public to be made aware, Hamilton said in a news interview on Monday. His resolve comes a day after the publication of a news story highlighting disgruntled car buyer Nadine Dixon, who alleged that Sings Motor Limited has failed to deliver a 2013 Toyota Isis sedan in August or refund her deposit of $800,000. The teacher assistant was reportedly promised that the vehicle would be delivered in 2 weeks. After months of waiting, nothing was forthcoming, and Dixon requested a refund in October. After weeks of delay, the money was finally deposited to her account at 2:09 p.m. on Monday, November 7. I want to thank the news because if this didn't go public, I wouldn't have gotten back my money. Hamilton said Sings Motors Limited is a certified used car dealers but is not a member of the JUCDA. None of our members would have acted in such a manner, he said. Hamilton said JUCDA has received some complaints from customers which it has referred to the Consumers Affairs Commission. We have not received any complaints concerning any of our members, and that is what would have been of concern to us. We are quite concerned whether they are members or not, but there is little that we can do about those who are outside of the ambit of the association, he said. He said that even before the news story on the matter, steps were being taken to highlight its members. More than 300 certified used car dealers are members of the JUCDA. Calls by the news to Sings Motors Limited have not been answered, but a post to the news Instagram page purportedly from the car dealer's account sought to justify the delivery delay. Whilst it is true that Sings Motors did suffer a 10-week delay in the shipping and delivery of over 30 vehicles to Jamaica, all are present and accounted for on the wharf, awaiting clearance. An excerpt from Sings Motors 876 reads, Sings claimed that Dixon did not produce the balance while awaiting delivery. Last October, a St. Mary businessman filed a suit against the Sings Motors over its alleged failure to deliver a motor car within the specified time. The businessman, Dennis Brown, claimed that his deposit of $1 million should be refunded to him because of the purported breach of contract. The allegations involved a July 12, 2021 contract for a 2015 Toyota Probox motor vehicle priced at $1.2 million. It is unclear whether that case has been resolved. Westmoreland leads in shootings and St. James in murders. There are further appeals for Jamaicans in the western end of the island to support the ongoing 14-day amnesty, under which holders of illegal firearms can hand over the weapons without a penalty. The amnesty began on November 5 and will run until November 19, ahead of the imposition of harsher penalties under the new Firearms Prohibition and Restriction Act, which includes a minimum 15-year sentence for illegal possession. Addressing Sunday's Jamaica Labour Party Area Council 4 meeting for the Hanover Eastern and Western constituencies, Senator Charles Sinclair urged the Labourites to spread the message regarding the freedom from prosecution for surrendering weapons under the amnesty. For some strange reason, Jamaican youths believe that having a firearm is like having a cell phone, but it is not like having a cell phone, he added. On November 1, the police revealed that 652 illegal guns had been seized island-wide this year. The vast majority of the island's 1,329 murders recorded up to November 5 this year were committed with illegal guns. There were 1,027 shootings recorded across the island for the period. Westmoreland heads the list of 19 police divisions with the most shootings with 128 incidents, a 14% increase on the 112 recorded over the corresponding period last year. Meanwhile, St. James has been the most murderous division with 181 homicides. Despite its good intention, some critics believe some gangsters will be fearful of turning over their weapons under the initiative. Assistant Commissioner Clifford Chambers, head of the police's Area 1 division, expressed hope that the amnesty would reap success. I know there might be trust issues, and I would want persons to consult an attorney to get some guidance if they have trust issues, but I really hope that those who are in possession of illegal firearms really accede to the amnesty request and turn in the illegal firearms, Chambers told the news on Monday. I honestly hope the amnesty is effective because since the start of the year, we have recovered far more firearms than we had recovered in previous years, Chambers added, noting that to date 212 illegal guns had been seized in the Area 1 division, encompassing St. James, Hanover, Westmoreland, and Trelawney. PNP calls on government to fix urgent problems at the Kingston port. Opposition spokesperson on industry, investment, and global logistics, Anthony Hilton, is calling on the government to fix the emergent problems at the port of Kingston, which have resulted in a growing backlog of goods needed by both the producers and the consumers for the impending Christmas season. Speaking against the background of recent reports of heightened surveillance and inspection by the Customs and Border Control agencies of goods coming into the port, which is among the factors causing delays in the clearance of goods, Hilton said that whatever the cause of the backlog in the clearance of goods at the port is, needs to be addressed immediately, as this can only worsen an already fragile economic recovery and increase the burden on already stressed consumers and businesses. In a release on Tuesday, Hilton explained that the delays in the clearance of goods at the port in the run-up to the Christmas peak demand season will only prolong the negative economic effects of the COVID-19 pandemic, in which the supply chain was severely disrupted, thus worsening the current inflationary spiral in which Jamaica and the world is gripped. Hilton noted that the response of the Bank of Jamaica in increasing the policy rate multiple times has resulted in increased interest rates on credit to the productive sector as well as households. Coupled with the rising cost of fuel and basic food items, the pressure on businesses and the most vulnerable have been mounting. Hilton further explained that adding further delays to the clearance of vital supplies and materials for producers and consumers during the peak Christmas season is increasing the risk of the economy slipping back into a recession. He is therefore calling on the government to take the lead in urgently bringing all stakeholders in the port community to the discussion table to fix the problem as quickly as possible to ensure stability at a main artery in the supply and the logistics chain at the port of Kingston. The micro and the small enterprises as well as the poor and the vulnerable classes deserve a good Christmas season after the COVID-19 pandemic, he said. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.